Top 8, grand finale and top deck list of the Meta Weekly every single week. Thank you very much for watching this video as long as you can, even if we're on in the background. That greatly supports these videos. This is with the new ban list, and we're going to start off with Triple D, Different Dimension Demons. Let's go.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Can Triple D defeat Tenpai? Tenpai currently the best deck within Master Duel, but the ban list did hit a few cards that they like to use. It's still going to be the best deck, I believe, as the Kepler activates the search for a Dark Contract. Negate, no search mate. The Nightmare Throne helps you search for a Triple D monster. We're now going to special summon the Double D Griffin, which is what you would search for with the Dark Contract, so it looks like it did not even matter. King Tail into the Machine X. Couldn't the King Tail have reduced the Nibiru? What was I missing there? Either if you took any effect, you didn't take any effect damage, you could detach to then target a face-up monster, loses 1,000 attack and defense permanently. Perma reduce, right? Couldn't we have done that? Huh? All right, let's go. We have a double special summon negate, plus the Triple D Headhunt, which could steal a monster and negate it. And the Machine X could suck up a monster after it activates. Let's go. You didn't want to detach to keep the mats for suckage? Okay, so understood that. We did have the ability to reduce the attack of the Nibiru to 2,000, but we wanted 2 materials under the Machine X. Why? Because normally we have a Dark Contract in the back row to pop instead of detaching 2 materials, where otherwise this would not be able to activate had we detached that 1 material. So it's very smart to be playing around different scenarios where our search for the Dark Contract got negated. So we got 1 suck, 2 special summon negate, and a steal and negate. Let's go, mate. Let's steal and negate. Uh-oh, Forbidden Droplet, send the Veiler, send the Nibiru. So there goes one of our disruptions. And we will be negating the Machine X and the Wave King Caesar. Now, it's important to note, can this even negate a Chundra? Chundra activates in the damage step. Ash Blossom cannot negate it, but can this? Let's check it. When a monster or spell or trap activates, you could detach, negate the activation. Due to saying negate the activation, it would negate in the damage step the effect is summoned from the deck. Summon a Pydra, grab a Kaiman, and I mean, that droplet just slaughtered us. Oh my goodness, what the hell? The Wave King Caesar searching for a Dark Contract. We had to waste the Triple D Headhunt on the Nibiru, right? The Nibiru, big enough to take out the Wave King Caesar, really screwed us on our Headhunt. Headhunt taking control of the Chundra was the play we needed to do. Come forth, Transcendent. Yeah, he had to headhunt the Nibiru. Into attack you go. Kaiman, search the deck. Bident, reborn from the grave. And, I mean, if you're familiar with Tenpai, you know this is lethal damage. Get popping with the Bident. You can't activate anything. All of your activations are not activatable. Goodbye to the Machine X. Further get swinging. Another swing. We could then synchro again into a Trident Dragon, which would be an additional 9,000 damage. Well, we get to go first again. Let's see if we can redeem ourselves. Begin. Dora the Explorer now. Jungle Man chose to go second, which is, I would say, is a good idea to do against Tenpai. Make them go first. At worst, they're going to be setting up a Heretic Seal and a way to completely screw up the battle phase. And do they have that way to screw up the battle phase? Yes, they do. So we have to be very careful. If we cannot stop their plays in the battle phase, we cannot enter it. We have to go straight to the end phase. We're going to be chaining Maxi to the Genroku, and with the Call by the Grave, we're now going to be fingering the Maxi. We thought the Genroku was baiting out the finger, but we saved our finger for your C. Negate. And now, with that, we do have to deal with Droll and Lockbird. As we add the Dark Contract, which then adds another card, the Droll and Lockbird says, nope, you're done adding. No more add for you. The Griffin can't draw, the Griffin can't search the deck, and the Dark Contract also not being able to search. So that's 3 cards at least at the moment being stopped. As we're now going to Pendulum Summon onto the field, come forth to now make our Wave King Caesar. Wave King Caesar into the King Tell. Let's now King Tell detach the Wave King Caesar to Radus. As we now Orthros pop the King Tell, triggering King Tell to send from the deck to the grave a Necro Slime. We also could not have added with the Wave King, but the Wave King would search for the Dark Contract of the Swamp King, which we already have in the hand. As we now banish the graveyard to now fusion summon into the Flame King Genghis, which will reborn from the grave after we Dark Contract the Swamp King, which is a one of that you're supposed to be searching, which Drone Lockbird is supposed to be stopping you from having to summon our Flame King Genghis. Triggering the High Flame King Genghis to reborn the King Tell, as we now make a High King Caesar. A special summon negate to negate that Chundra mate. Chundra now completely negated. Now, when they activate Chundra, can the Machine X suck it? No. But the High King Caesar can negate it. Goodbye to Dora the Explorer. Chundra not even bothering to activate. Why not? Why not? If you Chundra activate, I negate and destroy, you don't get a replay. You cannot attack directly, and they lose a material. Gilgamesh. As we now King Tell send from the deck to the grave the DD Griffin, Machine X, and this was all done under a Drone Lockbird, but to be fair, hard opening up the Dark Contract to the Swamp King made this a bit different. Special summon the Orthros. We're going to further make the Cursed King Siegfried. This is a spell and trap card negate. We have double special summon negate, spell and trap card negate, and the good suck. We got the double suckage. Wait, can we suck 3 times, right? Suck. I think we have 3 sucks. 6 disruptions. Fudra, reborn from the grave. High King Caesar, negate. Gotcha. 5 more disrupt. What now? That's it. There is no what now. Triple D taking a game 2 victory. You are Tenpai. You're choosing to go first or second for game 3. We got to have Triple D go first, right? At worst, they're going to have a Headhunt plus the double special summon negate, maybe a suck or 2. Normally, they're going to have about 5 disruptions through a standard hand without disruption. And, you know, the Headhunt does play around something like your Droplet. If you hard open up the Droplet, Droplet should ideally be completely turning off all of their disruptions. So this will definitely be very interesting. Let's see what happens. There we go. That's the Nightmare Throne. As we were talking about this, Tenpai forced Triple D to go first as the Nightmare Throne gets searching, which was a Droll and Lockbird check. No Droll in sight. Now Nibiru and Maxi and Valor and the Droplet. This is an incredible hand for Tenpai. We're going to call up the grave, finger that Maxi. I do not think so. Negate. They did announce a really good Pendulum Triple D, then I need to look into it. Thank you. What else do we do here? Should we have ashed instead, held the called by for something else? Is this Valor going to now screw us because we fingered the C instead of ashing it? Negate the Gilgamesh. I talked about, we already saw it. I didn't just talk about it. I showed you how Tenpai can completely play around Ash Blossom with a Chundra. Chundra can't be ashed, Pydra can't get ashed, Kaiman can't be ashed if you make a Meteor Burst or Biden into the Transcendent Dragon. Let's see what happens. We also can't suck the Machine X. We're gonna imperm it anyway. Can't suck it anyway. Can't ash, can't suck, can't ash. Okay. Activate, we try to suck, we then chain the other to dodge the suck. We make a Biden Dragon. We really didn't need to imperm. Didn't need to. We're going to, I mean, he could have sucked off the Biden, okay? Biden could have got good sucked. And now with the Transcendent Dragon, we could freely use the Kaiman. Kaiman is here. Now, the Machine X was walling off the Transcendent Dragon while in defense, but we forced it into attack. Radus, the Machine X. Yeah, this is 2 duels in the same tournament. What happened? What was the problem? The player playing against Tenpai held on to their Ash, and it costed them. Ash was not activatable for both players. They needed to use Ash earlier on something else. You save the Ash for Kaiman, they then make the Kaiman unashable, and you lose. And then Chundra into Pydra, can't Ash, can't Ash. Trident Dragon, making sure to summon this on Chain Link 1, otherwise it would miss the timing if you need that extra damage to pop the other cards. 2-1 victory. Tenpai advances. Jungle Man, I appreciate it greatly. You're amazing. Thank you very much. You did incredibly well. Getting into the top 8 with Triple D. Let's do it. Ostinato. It's very scary to negate an Ostinato because it's not hard once per turn. It's just if you control no monsters, that is when you're able to activate it. As we veil or negate the Bacha. Now, does this work? Yes. You're negating the card. You're not trying to negate the effect, which the effect is to not be negated on its effects. So Ash would not negate. I saw Reddit recommend ashing this. They were not kidding. Just don't listen to Reddit. On field, we have an Omni Negate with the Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon, plus double Monster Negate with the Apollo USA, plus a double Banish through Little Knight, making it with Masquerena. That's 5 disruptions. And then we have Impermanence. 6 disruptions plus a Maxi, and we only have 4 cards in our hand. Oh boy. We're going to first activate our Wanted Seeker, grabbing our Diablo Star, Imperm, turning off 2 negates. So now we're down to 4 negates left, 4 disruptions that is. Ponix is going to be negated by the Impermanence. Kieran is going to dodge the Impermanence unless we negate the Kieran. We're going to negate the Kieran. Now, the problem with negating a Kieran is, are we destroying Kieran? Destroy that card. So the Kieran can now activate to reborn a Fire King to pop a card in the field, but we need a Fire King in the hand or in the grave. Do we have one? No, we don't. So destroying Kieran is actually a worthy disruption. Damn, got him. Been got good. Now, what do we have left? We have the Masquerena into Little Knight. So we could, on the resolution of this, setting up the original Sinful, go, or just do it now. You don't have to wait for the resolution. You can now go into Little Knight to get banishing. Do we get rid of the original Sinful, or do we get rid of the Diablo Star? Set up that original Sinful with no card to send to the grave. On summon, goodbye to Diablo Star. We have 1 more disruption left, and just like that, we concede. All right, and we also have Imperm onto the other pendulum scale. Scoop. Oh no. Zombie Vampire into Flameburge is first turn kill against Pendulum. Gets a body in their grave, then you put it into their scale. That's crazy. Maxi wasn't good enough, so Konami had to step in. Bro, what? 1 search your deck is not a play? That's sad. I mean, that just in general what Pendulum is. Pendulum is pretty much always a 2-card combo, right? Is there any really good 1-card Pendulum deck combo play? Add a Supreme King from your deck, and that's not a play. Negate. I guess is Super Heavy really a Pendulum deck, though? Like, I don't know about that. I don't think it's really... A Pendulum deck is a deck that uses Electromite. I think we can kind of agree on that, right? Link Karibo. Let's get set up. Got our Ash in our own back row. Sent to the graveyard to come forth and summon Ash Blossom. Negate. Ostinato Refrain, our 1-card starter. Yeah, I guess for this deck then, yeah, you need like kind of, yeah. So I guess that would help. That Melodious was a good buff for Pendulums. Little Knight on summon, goodbye to the Wings of Light, but it is a quick effect to search our deck. Come to us, our Supreme King Gate Magician, and we know that this is not a good 1-card combo, otherwise we would have used it on the previous turn. We have to deal with a Little Knight and an Imperm. Now, what's interesting is 2 Supreme Gates is a play. One sets up the Gate 0, the other now gets to summon onto the field to then search. Get Banish in, also Imperm. Now, It's not possible to do it in the other activation order. You have to activate Little Knight right here, right now, and this is the correct way to do it. You higher chain link your negate and then removal on the lower. But as I said, you can't mess this up. It's not even something you have to remember here, besides remembering that it just works. Negate. Very well done. Now, if it were flipped face down, it would not be negated. So if, let's say, Little Knight happens, and then you chain, so you book a moon on chain link 2, or chain link 3, and then negate on chain link higher, the book a moon would wipe away the negate. Called by the grave, fingering the flying dino's ash, just like that. Negate. This is definitely an interesting duel, which is now no longer interesting as we have a Snake Eye Ash in our hand. Rip Pendulum. Imperm got him. We didn't have a playable hand going first, and then once we had our playable play, we got negated by the impermanence. Good try, my friend, a flying dino. Thank you very much. Let's hop into the next match. Ostrachan making Master Duel free to play for all of you to enjoy, as he's spending hundreds of thousands of dollars onto his full Royal Rarity decks here. We have Nadir Servant, send Garura to draw a card plus search for Ecclesia. Grabbing our big Welcome Labyrinth randomly off the top of the deck as the Ecclesia attempts to search for a Dogmatic Punishment to punish a monster on field plus pop an additional. Negate. That's fine with me, mates. Let's see what else we can do here. Lord of Heavenly Prison, protecting your back row cards from being destroyed by card effect. No Harpy Feather Duster allowed. Kieran, non-target pop of a back row card would also not be allowed. Main phase 2. At the end of the main phase, we're going to Dinomorphia Frenzy. Send from the extra deck and deck to fuse into the Kentragina. Kentragina is now going to copy the effect of the Frenzy Engrave. Copy it to now summon the Rex Term. Rex Term states that monsters the opponent controls, which means only on field, cannot activate if their attack is greater than or equal to your life points. And our life is really low. We're going to Welcome Labyrinth, summon an Ariana. Ariana on summon, search for a Labyrinth card. We have our Lady Labyrinth, which could then special summon itself onto the field, comboed up with a big Welcome Labyrinth, chained directly to it, as we did not have a way to chain link block it. Now we can newly set any trap we want from the deck, being our Transmigration Prophecy, which could shuffle 2 cards from either player's graveyards back into the deck. We're turning back Ariana to trigger the lovely to pop a card on the field or in the hand, and just like that, Labyrinth Dinomorphia very quickly sweeping up Snake Eye Fire King. Bro, limited to 1 shifter and we opened it up? Oh my goodness, it is a conspiracy, it's true. Wow. We're gonna banish our Poplar, limited to 1 by the way, searching for the Ponix trigger to summon, and search our deck for Ash Blossom Negate. You're not going to grab the Skyburn to get poppin'. It ain't happening, mate. Negate. Now, we could set up a Little Knight, I guess. Oh, what? Fucho? What's Fucho going to be good for? It's just unaffected by the cards. Now, Fucho could threaten a Zeus on the very next turn. Do we have Zeus? We're not Zeusing. We just Fuchoing. Why play Fucho at all? Fucho is to counter Tenpai. Unaffected by other card effects completely, and you detach 2 materials to make it so it cannot be destroyed by battle. That's it. It just pretty much close to guarantee survives against Tenpai. We're now going to oak it up. You would think maybe you want to play Nightingale, but Nightingale loses to Droplet, where the Fucho is unaffected. Let's come forth and summon Little Knight, which will ensure we cannot attack directly. If we banish a card on its summon, we're going to overroot. We're going to reborn the Fucho and send the impermanence to the grave. The imperm would have been used on something like Rex Term. Fucho is back. Goodbye to the back row. Cannot attack directly now. We are now Diablo Starring. Come forth, Diablo Star, set up into the back row, our original Sinful. We're not going to, on resolution, set up with the Frenzy. No siree, cannot attack directly. Then main phase 2, send Diablo Star to come forth and summon Snake Eye Ash, as we now further link this up into a Promethean Princess. We are now going to Dinomorphia Frenzy, send from the deck and extra deck to summon our Kentragina. Kentragina is now going to be not activating yet, as we Lord of Heavenly Prison, summon onto the field in response to a trap resolving to set up a Transmigration Prophecy, as Kentragina now copies the Frenzy to summon the ultimate Rex Term. Now Promethean cannot activate, so how do we deal with the Rex Term? Through a non-monster effect. Thanks to the Sky Burn, we are burning that Rex Term, reborning from the graveyard the Therizia through the effect of the Rex Term being destroyed, but now Promethean Princess can be activated. Reminder, again, we are in main phase 2. Let's send Promethean and the Ash to summon our Flameburst. Flameburst is going to push the Rex Term engraved into the back row just like that. Now, what are we doing from here? Flameburst is going to steal the Rex Term. Your Rex Term is mine. But you're at 8,000 life. You could reduce yourself to 4,000. That's interesting. Do we... reduced to 4,000 is really bad, right? Don't you turn all their monster into 4,000? Pay half your life, 4,000. All the attacks of the opponent that they currently control become 4,000. Not a good idea. Typhon gets spinning as it's right under 8,000, as it could still definitely activate, of course. As the Flameburst has been returned back to the hand, we have Volcanics, which will be met with a Dinomorphia domain. We're going to chain Kieran. Kieran is going to get popping a card on the field, so we have to be very careful with the pop of the Kieran. All right, let's get Resolve in. Now we're going to get popping on the Kieran. Kieran will activate on a separate chain, and it will destroy that Rex Term. So what do? We know that Rex Term is now gone. Ponix is going to be summoning, and by the time the Ponix is trying to activate, the Rex Term will no longer be there. Even though our attack is lower than the life points anyway. Goodbye Rex Term as the Ponix triggers. The big question is, there's one Rex Term there, there's a second in the grave, do we have a third in the extra deck, or are we done? We're not done. We have another Rex Term in the extra deck. But how do we get it out? Making our Linkuriboh as we further link this up into a Sunlight Wolf. We're going to Karma Cannon, flip the entire field face down, plus send all Link monsters to the grave as we then follow up with the Fire King Island, reflip back up that Rex Term, pop the Flameburst that we know was in their hand, grabbing a Garunix, trigger the Flameburst, summon 2 to 3 bodies on the field, 2 level 1 fires plus the Garunix. Reborn Oak, Oak trigger, reborn, another body as the Garunix pops in Arvata from the deck. We're gonna grab that back to Poplar as the Arvata reborns the Garunix from the graveyard as we keep on going to make a Dark. Dark's gonna steal a Dark monster, stealing the Lord of Heavenly Prison, and just like that, even with this hard opening up Dimension Shifter, we are not able to defeat Snake Eye Fire King. Game 3, I made an oopsie. My oopsie doopsie was that I watched game 2 first, then we watched game 1. So game 3 is based off of Haas winning game 2. Thus, Mobile X chose the big mistake of going first with a, whoa, full house, let's go, Balatro. Oh, that's actually not good in Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay. All right, Arius off the top of the deck. Butler set up a trap from her hand that's activatable the turn it's set. Big welcome into the Ash Blossom negate. Gotcha, mate. We're going to chain Arius to summon itself onto the field because you chained to one of our card effects. That is a trap or labyrinth card. And we're going to maxi, hopefully draw into something that could help us for the very next turn. And it is a Diablo Star, sure. Okay, we're going to activate Lord of Heavenly to protect our back row cards from being destroyed by card effect, which is good against something like Skyburn. It's better against Kieran because Kieran is non-target poppage, which is likely when your back row card would get destroyed. We have Imperm, negate the Diablo Star, and I believe a lot of people are playing Phoenix, right? Yeah, Nightmare Phoenix cannot be summoned early to force out a back row activation. Big welcome, back-to-back big welcome as we back-to-back Ash Blossom negate. Chain, trap, trick, mate, we got you. We baited the Ash. Now I'm seeing it. I am in the Matrix. The Labyrinth cards are to bait the Ash, and then the real play is Dinomorphia. Lord of Heavenly Prison will be special summoning as we are going to maxi again into Dinomorphia Frenzy. Kentragina into Rex turn, or we go straight into Rex turn? Let's see what happens. As we go into Kentragina still. Kentragina is here. Come forth, Lord of Heavenly Prism, which will set a trap from the deck, which is not activatable the turn it's set, but next turn it is. You're now going to Kentragina copy the effect of the Frenzy to summon the Rex turn. Rex turn will disallow anything that's 2,000 attack or higher from activating on the field. Only the opponent, by the way. Imperm is a great way to counter Rex turn. But are we about to lose next turn? Let's see what happens here. Rex turn, reducing the Diablosaur down to 500 attack. You can use that in the damage step. The Diablosaur does trigger, by the way, and since it activates in the graveyard, it is legally activating under the effect of Rex turn. Not enough for lethal damage, or is it? As we trap trick set up a welcome labyrinth. Imperm? Huh? Wait, was that in the Imperm column? Imperm column? Am I out of my mind? Could we have not negated that? Oh, it's fine. We have a negate. Negate! Mate, hold the Imperm for something better because we have that Ash. Gotcha. Okay, we didn't have to Imperm, right? We didn't have to do it. As we now Little Knight, and we lose our Imperm anyway. Well, that's unfortunate. How do we deal with the Rex turn? Volcanics? No good. Welcome, even with triple Ash negating Labyrinth, Labyrinth after Labyrinth, we are still triggering our Ariana summon to grab an Arius. Let's tribute summon for the Butler. What the hell are we doing here? We are making a Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel on summon, banishing the Volcanics, and just like that, Labyrinth to eat your Ash, and then we follow up with Rex turn for lethal. Dinomorphia, Labyrinth for game. Begin. So what is this nonsense? We have a monster negate plus Ash negate plus Little Knight double banish. We have Amble Whale, pop a card in the field. We have Promethean Princess, pop a special summon monster. We also have the Amble Whale. We already talked about that. Well, Amble Whale, reborn anything. We have Garunix, which will pop a card through the effect of the Kirin. I think we're at 7 disruption. Yep, just 7, just 7. Circle adding the Foxy. Foxy is here. Arvata is negating. Now, Foxy, I think, could have destroyed the field spell, right? The Foxy states if this card is in the grave, you could then discard a Salamangreat to destroy the Fire King Island. Now down to 6 disruption. Amble Whale is, first we're going to reborn the Garunix, which will pop the Kirin. Kirin will reborn to pop the Foxy, as we were talking about. We'll wipe that fool out. Follow up with the Gazelle, chain Maxi. That is incredibly fair. Yep. Yeah, ban Maxi and just have the Mulcharmies. Mulcharmies only activatable if you control no cards. I'm okay with that. So only the turn 2 player having it. But then make sure Tenpai is a lot more balanced. As we then Masquerena into the Little Knight on summon, banishing that Gazelle off of the field. You go. Triple Tactics talent, going to take control of a monster. Well, you could take control of our Arvatas. We just lost another disruption here. Goodbye, take the Arvata, and now we can't Promethean. So what are our other disruptions? We have Ash and something else. I think we lost our other ones too, yeah? The Amble Whale can't trigger, so just Ash. That's it. Ash Blossom is our only form of disruption. Ludmilla, you are not Salamangreat lethaling through, what was it, 7 disruptions? Damn, let's freaking go. Hida is here. Hida reborn from the graveyard. Come to me, the Flameburge. We still have Ash as our only form of disruption, which the Arvata can negate. Now it cannot, as we make our Promethean Princess 5,700. We can't use the impermanent. 7,500. We're barely there. Spinny but boost up to a perfect 8,000 damage. How the heck did this happen? 7 disruption we played through. Right now, you all need to put Triple Tactics talent in your deck because that is what stole this duel through 7 disruptions. Now you gotta be thinking, I didn't see that many disruptions. That's because we stole their fire monster. We made it so they couldn't summon Promethean. We made it so the Amble Whale couldn't trigger. Damn. Arvata pass? What the heck are you trying to lose to Salamangreat? This is a negate plus negate. We got double negate plus Maxi mate. Let's go. Now we Maxian. Oh, turn ended. All right, very nice. So what do we have from Salamangreat? We just have Droplet. Droplet is our only play. We could have damage stepped the Droplet to get the Arvata off the field. Okay, leaving up Arvata. Now again, we still have our double disruption. Salamangreat Circle, we're not going to use the Ash Blossom to negate that. Foxy, look at the top 3 cards. You definitely do not want to Ash that. Come to me, one of the Salamangreat cards being the Salamangreat Rage. And then we're now going to be linking this up into the Bale Links. Bale Links, we already have field spells, so we're not baiting the Ash, and I don't think you should Ash that. We're going to be chaining the Maxi to the Code of Soul special summoning while we control a Link. Wow, Maxi keeps on ending our turn. That's it. Now we do have the Rage to pop a card in the field. Kieran, Pop, and Garunix to come forth and summon. We are in beatdown mode. Beat them down. Now this is scary. What's very scary about this is it's now off the field, so we'll talk about it once we rebuild. Hida, activate, reborn. We're going to chain Maxi, which we do have Call by the Grave or Ash for. We're going to Call by the Grave, finger the sea. We can now chain the Droplet if we want to. Stop the Hida. We do not want to stop Hida. We're going to allow it to steal our monster. We could possibly use the Droplet onto a Promethean Princess, though. Your Code of Soul is mine as we now make Promethean to reborn from the grave. Do we allow this? No, we don't. And Promethean is non-target reborn. So what exactly were they trying to set up here? Negate. And the Salamangreat Rage is requiring us to have a Salamangreat Link on the field. Or it does have the other effect of send a Salamangreat monster from your hand or field to the graveyard to then target a card in the field and destroy it. So that is if you don't have a Link. We're now going to be activating the Call by the Grave to negate the High Avatar Garunix from reborning from the graveyard, which would then destroy the Promethean, getting it into the grave, turning it into a form of disruption. So now we just have the Imperm and Ash. Ash, negate the Gazelle, mate. We could have dodged that through the effect of the Salamangreat Rage, which we ended up doing anyway. Oh, no, I was thinking about impermanence. My bad. We're not dodging imperm. We can't dodge the Ash. We're negating the effect, not the card. Off the top of the deck, we got Diablo Star, and wow. Turn 7. A good back and forth, but that is a 1-turn kill. 8,000 damage. 1-1. Let's go. Sai, Net, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Auto Chess, Auto Battle, something like that would have been really cool. Salamangreat Fire, grab the Gazelle. It is a Salamangreat instead of being a Lady Debug, so when sent to the grave, we can now trigger our Gazelle. Gazelle from the hand, come forth and summon, activate to send from the deck a Salamangreat card. We got Spinny to reborn itself from the graveyard. We're going to rank 3 Exceed, so then summon a Salamangreat from the deck. We got the Weasel as we then further link this up into a Sunlight Wolf. Trigger the Mirage, return back the Weasel, special summon the Weasel to where the Wolf's pointing to add back the Spinny and Grave. We're going to use the Mirror to discard a special summon here to then make a Promethean Princess to reborn a fire monster from the grave. Further linking, synchroing, exceeding into the Horse Prince summon from the deck of Code Soul. As we then link off the Code Soul into a Bale Links to then make a Raging Phoenix. Raging Phoenix into Raging Phoenix with the effect of the Code of Soul to then search our deck as the Weasel summons a monster on the opponent's side to trigger the Promethean Princess as we now have an Omni Negate. Goodbye Horse Prince and the opposing monster to summon from the graveyard our Promethean and trigger our Raging Phoenix, which we just triggered the Garunix. Uh-oh, we're gonna send Kieran. Kieran's gonna summon a Ponix, and that's gonna destroy a card on the field. Is that a problem? This was not supposed to happen, that Weasel play. Yeah, buddy, it's happening. Exactly what I said. Summon the Ponix, goodbye to Promethean Princess. What did we just stop? It's like, wait, Promethean wants to be in the grave. We were gonna put the Promethean in grave ourselves by summoning the Pyro Phoenix. So the ability of you can destroy all cards your opponent controls during the opponent's turn, we don't have that now. It's gone. We need that Link 3 plus one other card to make that Link 4. Negate the Ponix so you don't get an early search. We're going, yeah, oh my goodness. No Pyro Phoenix full field wipes. We lost the full field wipe, but we still have other plays. We have Promethean on a special summon, pop a monster. We have negate anything with the roar. We have negate a monster on the field. So triple disruption. I feel like Snake Eye Fire King can play through 3 disruption. That's not much. Let's make a Hida. Hida, steal Promethean. Uh-oh, forcing out the Imperm. Negate. Only 2 more disruptions, mate. That's it. Oh boy. Wait, is this top 4? No, this is top 8. You trolled me in chat. We're top 8. We're top 8. We're trying to kill our Hida. When the Hida dies, the Hida is going to be searching the deck. So this effect that you think, like, why does it have this effect? Now, it has it because it's going to reduce our monster to 0. Thus, you can't crash your Hida. It seems like such a useless effect, but it actually worked. We still have the roar. Get roaring. Negate the bonfire. Negate. And now we just have Promethean Princess. Our only other form of disruption as we summon Diablo to set up the original Sinful. When do we whip out our own Promethean? Well, as they are summoning their Promethean, we can pop Promethean with Promethean, right? I felt like that would have, okay, that would have triggered Garunix anyway. I feel like we're kind of checkmated, aren't we? Pop Kieran, Soen Ponix, pop the back row. When can we Promethean? Is there even an opportunity? We just have that one form of disruption. Now we can't Promethean. The one Promethean is now nothing. 0. Yeah, Garunix and Grave pinning down Promethean from even wanting to activate. And now Arvata for real, pinning down the Promethean from activating at all. Sunlight Wolf, this is all main phase 2. So Ludmilla can cope on the newly drawn card here as the Arvata negates. You will not destroy my card. I will destroy my own card. As we take out our Sunlight Wolf. Let's now speed this up. Garunix trigger because our card was destroyed. Send to summon Oak. Reborn, trigger the effect. We're going to add back instead of reborning with the Oak. Come back to me. Thank you. Let's link this up into Link Karibo. Further link this up into Little Knight. Little Knight, say goodbye to the Raging Phoenix. Further linking this into a triple monster negate. And just like that, mate, let's go. The Sanctuary eating up the battle phase play was very smart for Salamangreat, but due to our Pyro Phoenix being disrupted, not being able to summon it because of our Weasel play, had we had gone back, had we have known that the Garunix in hand would be triggered off of us giving them a fire monster, did they totally screw that up? Let's look into that real quick and investigate. The Garunix is played at 1. Are you going to play around a 1 of? Literally, the 1 of Garunix screwed up their turn 1. So I think we should not be playing around that. And if it happens, it happens. We just lost 1 extra disruption, but that 1 extra disruption was a full field wipe. This is Labyrinth Dinomorphia in the top 4 against Snake Eye Fire King. Are you ready? Begin. Not going first. That is quite unfortunate. We do have Valor. And then if they finger the Valor or Kieran the Ash, we could chain Impermanence to still negate that Snake Eye Ash. Very well done. There is a risk of Valor also turning on a triple tactics talent. Looking at our hand here, we're now going to follow up Imperm, negate the Diablo Star. Now surely they're done, right? Well, we have Max C in case they want to make even more plays, which is that exactly what they're doing. The Fire King Island will pop a fire to grab the Garunix, which will now trigger the special summon, which we will then chain our Max C. Triple hand trap. I am loving it. We also have Lady Labyrinth, which will be special summonable. Likely, we are going to do that within the end phase. Let's speed this up. Pop from the deck, Kieran to Reborn the Arvata. Well, now the Lady can be negated by the Arvata, which we're not going to actually use to negate because it would then destroy the Garunix, and we wouldn't have another way to negate. So what do we have here? We have negate an effect of a monster plus negate an effect of a monster plus Garunix, Reborn Kieran, or I should say pop Kieran, then Reborn to pop a card in the field. That's triple disruption. Now we only have 2 disruption because we lost our Arvata through the Lady Labyrinth being untargetable and indestructible to take it out. We're going to follow up with Ariana Imperm to negate the Ariana searching for a Labyrinth card. We're going to use Lady chaining to your Impermanence to set whatever trap we want from our deck. There we go. Now, this finger is the Kieran. If the Kieran gets destroyed, and we're going to do that right now during the end phase, Reborn Arvata, pop a back row card, goodbye to the Frenzy. Now, what do we have from here? We're going to follow up with Bonfire. Bonfire searching for the Oak. We have Daruma to flip the field face down. We have Welcome Labyrinth and Big Welcome Labyrinth. What is good as the Oak reborns the Snake Eye Ash. Now, you may be fooled into believing that we don't have a Dinomorphia play. We do. The Lady Labyrinth can set a Dinomorphia trap from the deck, and if we could coup clock it up, then we can make it activatable. We are flipping down our Lady, not even chaining to the Daruma. We're now going to Big Welcome Labyrinth, summon a lovely, return back to our hand the Lady Labyrinth, as the lovely is now going to get poppin', pop a card from the hand or the field. If we take out the Fire King Island, that's going to wipe out all their monsters. We're taking out the original Sinful instead. Flip back up the Arvata with the original Sinful engraved. We're going to return back the Diablosaur to search for a Ponix. We already committed to our normal summon. We're going to Fire King Island, pop the face down Poplar, grab from the deck the Alcanix. Garunix Engrave will now be triggering to pop a monster from the deck, hand, or field. Poplar equip, pop from the deck. Well, first the Garunix will be activating to then pop. Pop the Kirin, and now we summon from the hand or grave to non-target pop a card in the field, taking out the Welcome Labyrinth. We're going to further make plays into making our Masquerina. With Masquerina, we then make a Promethean Princess. With Promethean, we're going to be reborning our Arvata Monster Negate and then turn it into a Raging Phoenix. With the Raging Phoenix, we're now going to be making a Zelantis. Do we care that our own cards are face down? No, we do not. We're going to banish it all, then return it back face up on the field, returning back the opposing monsters face up or face down, however we want it. And this is lethal damage. Straight up game. Nicely done from Snake Eye Fire King. Are you ready? We're going first with a Super Dinomorphia hand. Let's get to it. Triple Dinomorphia set. All of these traps have the effect to summon a fusion monster. Alcanix is going to be negated by the Veiler unless we cross out Designated because we play Veiler ourselves. Yes, we do. Negate the Veil. Alcanix is popping a fire to then search for a fire. Pop in the Flamebirds, grab a Ponix. We're now going to trigger the Ponix, come forth and summon, and now is the time to summon our Rex Term. Also adding a Maxi into the mix. You cross out Designated my Veiler, thus the Maxi is safe. Fusion summon into the Kentragina. Kentragina will now copy the effect of the Trap Engraved to summon a Rex Term. Now, we couldn't get Rex Term out in time to stop the Ponix from activating, and the Ponix is at 500 attack. Very difficult to stop. Because any monster that is lower than our life points, only then will they be able to activate on field. And just like that, we got our Floodgate. Grabbing the Fire King Sanctuary, Rex Term activating, changing everyone to 1,000 attack. Now the threshold is 1,000. You have to be less than 1,000 on the field in order to activate, which the Fucho is under. Fucho is going to just protect us for another turn, give us another chance to stabilize. Very good. We're unaffected. You can't change our attack. Not going to work. We're going to activate the Fucho. Can't imperm, can't negate it. It's completely unaffected. And that's it. It gives you just one life. One life on the Fucho. Now we got to make big plays. We're going to overroot in response to the Fire King Island activating. We're going to set the Nibiru onto the field, sending the Fire King Island to the graveyard. Now, the Sanctuary protects your Fire King Island from being destroyed, but we're not destroying it, we're sending it. And the Fire King Island in graveyard, because it left the field, now activates to wipe out your field. Now, the Fucho is unaffected from your own wipe. We're going to send the Sanctuary to summon from the deck, chain the Max C, which we have nothing to stop for that Max C. This is back-to-back Max C, isn't it? Yes, it is. On our second turn and fourth turn, 2 turns in a row, getting Max C. Now, Fucho was supposed to help insulate us from the first Max C, but we got nothing for the second Max C as we draw into a Called by the Great Finger 1 second late. As we follow up Therizia. Is there a Therizia in the graveyard to finger? Yes, there is. By fingering the Therizia in grave, that negates the 1 on field from setting any Dinomorphia trap we want from the deck. To battle we go. Fucho is no longer activatable. We don't have the Xyz materials. It's still unaffected by card effects, but it is now destroyable by battle. 500 is the threshold. If you are 500 attack or higher, you cannot activate on field only. only on field, and it's only for the opponents. Banish, the Flameburst Dragon. So we summon the Diablo Star, obviously not activatable, but if we could trigger the Kirin by swinging Kirin in, by battle, destroying itself, it will activate in the graveyard to reborn a monster to then destroy and kill the Rex term. Yeah, buddy. Kill itself. Took a lot of damage there. Reborn. Wipe out Rex term. But we have many ways to simply make another copy. We're going to reborn the Kentragina through the Rex term being destroyed, and now we could safely summon our Diablo Star. Diablo Star is setting up an original Sinful. Do we set up a Rex turn play before they go further? Yes, we do. Using Dinomorphia Domain to use the Kentragina and a monster from the deck to summon another copy of the Rex term. Whenever you summon from the deck, it has to be less than 125. That's 500. Doesn't activate. Gotcha, mate. Welcome Labyrinth into Ariana. Ariana activates searching for a Lady Labyrinth, which will be activatable to summon right here, right now, which could only summon into defense, which is why you want to summon it during the opponent's turn to put it into attack, as we then chain the Lady to the trap trick to set not one, but 2 traps from the deck. Transmigration Prophecy, which can shuffle 2 cards from either player's graveyard back in the deck. If there's a Promethean Princess or a Garunix in grave, shuffle it back. Are we going to flip it up to battle? Wait, is Garunix not in grave? I get it's not. Isn't it banished? Where is it? That one, the other Garunix is just not there. It's gone. All right. Triggering the Kirin to summon onto the field. We are going to Transmigration Prophecy. We're triggering the Arvata, by the way. So the Kirin's not popping. And with the Transmigration Prophecy, we're chaining the Lady to set an Overroot from the deck as we return both of their Fire King cards in grave back into the deck. Say goodbye as the Kirin still has something to reborn. Non-target, take out the Rex term again. Both Rex terms destroyed. Kentragina reborn, big welcome Labyrinth, come forth and summon Lovely, return back a monster, trigger the Lovely, take out the Garunix, and only if the Garunix is destroyed by battle does it activate to summon a monster from the deck. Right? Destroyed by battle, yeah. So we don't get that effect. Lethal damage. Poplar on summon, we are going to Veil or negate the Poplar, but we have that finger waiting and ready. Finger the Veiler, negate. And now from there, we do have to not even deal with the Maxi because we do have the Ash Blossom to negate that. Thus, there is no more disruption in sight, so let's speed this up. We have Flameburst right now, summon Masquerena, which could turn into at least double disruption plus the Imperm and the Promethean. So 4 disruption plus the Nibiru. Plus, if we summon behind the Wolf, we could add back the Ash Blossom for another negate. That's 6 disruptions. Let's do it. Yep, Ash back to the hand. Right now. Add back that Ash. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. Haas, I'm so sorry. There's no way you could win this, right? Imperm, negate. Now down to 5 disruption left. We could force out an early Little Knight by going to battle phase. And that's exactly what we're doing. So we're going to Masquerena into Little Knight on summon Banish. And the Ariana in hand, the Arius, right? Not Ariana. Arius could set a big welcome and make it activatable right then and there. And that's exactly what we're doing, but we just added back Ash. We added it back. Oh my goodness, Sunlight Wolf with the negate, mate. Damn. Maxi ate the Ash, and then Wolf added that Ash back. That was the game-winning play. 2-1 victory. I really wanted to see Haas's deck make it to the grand finale, but almost. Let's get to it, to the other half of the top 4. Begin. Let's get Fuchoing. Fucho is plan B. Fucho is plan A against Tenpai because it ensures you are going to survive a turn of Tenpai. We're unaffected by other card effects, detached 2, then we can't be destroyed by battle. Now, the other card to play instead of Fucho would be Nightingale. Nightingale can make itself indestructible, untargetable, but it loses to Droplet. Also, it could lose to an impermanence if you try to activate it on an open field. This loses to Goddess, though. Goddess does not beat Nightingale, but Goddess beats Fucho. Are we playing a Goddess? We are not. Most people are not. Come forth, Garunix, wipe out all other monsters. Fucho cannot be wiped out. So with an indestructible Fucho, what do? We have a Sangan Summoning, search in our deck for the Chandra, discard a Fadra from our hand. Chandra special summon. Are we going to be setting up possibly just a Heretic Seal and end? Bident Dragon, activate, reborn from the graveyard here. Fadra on summon, reborn from the graveyard Chandra. And to battle we go. We're going to summon from the deck with the Chandra, our Gen Roku. Keep on swinging. Fadra is now activating to Synchro Shokan into the Transcendent Dragon. But we can't put Fucho into attack. It's unaffected. Everything else into attack. Goodbye to the Garunix, which will not be activating. Let's now Bident Dragon, which, understand this. A lot of people don't know this because it never is relevant. This is once per duel. You cannot summon it again. So if you are in a grind game with the opponent and you summon your Bident early just for fun, that's it. No more Bident for the rest of the game. And we could do it with the Transcendent Dragon too. That's also once per duel. So Bident Dragon is no more. Should we have saved it? Ponix activate, Veiler, negate. We got some more plays here. That's fine. We got some resilience here. We got the original Sinful. Plus Bonfire into, well, Bonfire into Poplar is no longer a play because Poplar is limited to 1. We are, unless we can get the original Sinful in the grave to return it back, then we Bonfire it back to the hand. Is that a good play? As we Ash Blossom negate the Maxi Mate. It ain't happening. Sure. If we Droll turns off our own Kaiman, so we do have to be very careful about that. We also have the Heretic Seal to spin back a face-up card back to the hand as we make our Hida. Hida will steal a fire monster from the graveyard, which if we Heretic Seal the Hida, it's not able to steal the monster because it has to summon to where it's pointing to. Heavenly Sphere, say goodbye. As we equip back our Ash, trigger the Heretic Seal, summon a Magna Hut. Magna Hut will activate to search in the end phase for, again, Roku likely. As we now make a Flameburge. Flameburge is going to push the Transcendent into the back row, now stuck there. How do we get that out? And most players just play one Transcendent Dragon, right? Looking at the extra deck, there is not another Transcendent Dragon. Damn. As we now make Hida again. We did not even activate the Hida and you spun it back early. So we're now going to be triggering the Flameburge. Ash is triggering to grab a Ponix. We already used up our normal summon. Hida is going to steal the Bident Dragon, a card that you could not even summon yourself. As we now make a Promethean Princess. Abood is popping off. What the hell is going on, mate? Everyone's got to play Fucho, yes? Pop the Ponix, grab Garunix. Garunix trigger, come forth and summon. We still have the Cope of Kaiman. Kaiman is going to... I don't know if there's a mistake. You now hard once per turn your Genroku, which was your backup play with Kaiman. Huh. I don't know about that. We're going to point that out if it ends up losing us the duel. Maybe we don't have another Genroku in the deck. That is our one Genroku. We should definitely have another one. Okay, let's see what happens. We're probably going to get this popped anyway. Yeah, we're just screwed. We're getting checkmated. Knowing that the set Kaiman would get popped, and now we know that there's going to be the Zealantis to put all of our monsters face down, and they're going to get popped while face down. That's it. It's lethal damage. We have successfully lethal Tenpai going. They did go first, so we did just get to set up the Fucho. So Fucho turning off Tenpai's second turn, that won the game. Fucho is the game-winning card of this duel. That's what you need to learn. Come forth and summon. Back in the field now. Sangan Summoning does not protect, of course, during the main phase of the opponent's turn, only on your own main phase. Get popping, get triggering, and with this, we could pop more cards in the field. Yep. Pop 2 cards, 1-2, open field, 15k damage. Fucho for the win. How do we stop the Fucho? You gotta play Goddess. If Fucho ever becomes too popular, Goddess is the way to lethal through the Fucho. It's unaffected, can't be destroyed by battle. Get in the grave. It's not protecting your life points like Nightingale is, but Nightingale loses to a well-timed imperm if you're not smart enough to play around that correctly, or you're forced into playing into it, or otherwise a droplet, which you can't play around the droplet. Volcanics on summon activate to pop a fire. We have no Kieran. We can't finger the imperm. We don't have crossout designator to negate the impermanence. Imperm is just so damn good. We're gonna Diablo Star, send our negated monster to set up our original Sinful. And just like that, let's now power through our plays. So my big question is, do we force out a Fucho? We Fucho'd under Max C. Do we just make a normal Snake Eye Fire King, or do we add Fucho on top of it? Let's speed on through this to find out. All right. If the Kaiman's activation's negated, we can activate the other, but if it gets ashed, then we are super screwed. Masquerina, trigger the Flameburs, Reborn from the Grave, link Haribo, further link this up into Promethean Princess. Promethean, Reborn the Flameburs as we make the Amblo Whale. Flameburs, grab the Volcanics. Yeah, we don't force out Fucho against Tenpai, only if we're under Max C. Okay, so is this just better than having a Fucho? The Promethean Princess is going to be able to pop a special summon monster. We don't have access to Garunix. Actually, with the Volcanics, we will. So we could summon Volcanics and pop a fire, and then we are going to be able to Kieran. And then with the Amblo Whale, we're going to be able to pop another card in the field, and we have Ash Blossom. We have about 4 disruptions, plus a Call by the Grave. Yep. And the Ash solos them, though. Just one Ash and we're fine. Lightning Storm. Destroy all the back row cards. Be gone. Forbidden Droplet. Negate the Flameburs from summoning the Volcanics to gain access to the Garunix. It ain't happening. Not today. Wipe it. Now what? Kaiman into Ash into Scoop. Negate, mate, Tenpai, back to Fortnite, you fool! Not the player, the deck. Virgil, I appreciate you, but damn, that just happened. Okay, it's not over. Chill, chill, chill. We have Kaiman on their turn, okay? We're good, we're good. Genroku, special Genroku, summon from the deck. But let's see if we can stop that, right? Should we have a way to stop that? Not gonna even try? You're not gonna even try? I mean, you have a play. Genroku special, tribute, summon like Fadra if you have Son of Reborn, or Chandra, then hope they attack in you. I'm coping, right? Yeah, you lost. All right, let's hop into the grand finale. Snake Eye Fire King versus Snake Eye Fire King. Ain't no way. Let's go. So we have Imperm, negated monster, Arvata, negated monster, Promethean Princess, pop a special summon. We have Garunix and Graveyard triggering to pop another monster through the effect of the Kieran. We don't have an Amblo Whale play, and we do have Ash Blossom. So it's about 5 disruption plus the Masquerina, and the back row is going to turn into a double Little Knight. So that's 7. Oh, wow. You good? Jeez. I got to restart the whole game or what? 7 disruption. Let's go. All right. Volcanics. Activate. Negate, mate. Can we dodge the impermanence? No, we can't. Negate. We're good. We're fine. All right, sure. Follow up Wanted Seeker. Care too close for comfort next to that imperm column. I think this field spell's pay to win because you can't really tell the imperm column on it. It's barely noticeable. What the heck is that? Diablo Star set up the original Sinful into the back row. Original Sinful, send Diablo Star to summon from the deck. Nothing. As we get negated by Ash Blossom, we're now down to 5 disruptions left. All right, sure. Let's Flameburs, come forth, my Masquerina. Masquerina into Little Knight, double banish play. We're gonna trigger the Sunlight Wolf, grab back a Kieran from Engrave as the IP Masquerina links up with the Flameburs to get Little Knight banishing. Banish, The Volcanics, Flameburst trigger to reborn 2 level 1 fires. We're now down to 4 disruptions here. By getting banished, we're not triggering the Garunix. We do have the follow-up 1-for-1 play, though. Oak is going to trigger to add back the Poplar from Engrave as we add the Ponix from the deck. Wanted Seeker, return back the original Sinful. Draw a card. 1-for-1, discard Volcanics to summon a Ponix. Ponix gets searching. As the Arvata negates. So that was our big play, but we could still go to battle. Battle phase play. Nate, are you ready? Kieran is going to summon a Ponix to pop the Ponix as we now trigger the Garunix to come forth and summon. Activate Garunix, chain the Little Knight to banish. I think we're now down to just Promethean Princess as our only form of disruption. That's it. From 7 disruption down to 1, and we're done. Wow, that was quite insane. Ponix is triggering to add back to the hand during the standby phase. Garunix is attempting to summon to then wipe out the entire field of monsters on summon. Arvata, of course, has to negate. Trigger Garunix, reborn from the graveyard. Oh, everything to battle. Oh, nope, everything to attack. As we then make a Raging Phoenix. We are going to be turning this into a Zealantis. Zealantis, banish the entire field, return it back onto the field. And now get ready for our Promethean Princess play as we summon that Garunix face down. Trigger the effect, take out Arvata. We're going to be triggering the Raging Phoenix Engrave. Our Raging Phoenix? No? Okay, sure, doesn't matter. We're going to reborn from the graveyard anyway. Ponix triggering to summon itself onto the field, which we could very simply pop with the Promethean. But now there's a Garunix Engrave. So what do? We're going to make our Garunix Eternity. To battle we go. Wipe out the Ponix, trigger the Garunix. This is all messed up now. We're going to pop a Kieran. Kieran's going to reborn, pop a card in the field. Are we taking out the Zealantis? Yes. Holy moly, we did not lethal damage. That's crazy. Huh? FSN boss, what happened? People already walked away thinking you won. This is insanity. We're going to chain the Little Knight to banish the Garunix plus itself off the field until the end phase. Ponix adding back. I mean, we got Promethean on field. We look like, what even disruptions do we have? We don't have any disruption. We got just Nibiru. If Promethean does not hit the grave, we have 0 disruption. You went from 7 disruption to your lethal not going through to now 0 disruption if you can't get Promethean in the grave. Hida is here. Hida, steal the Ash. Your Ash is mine. The Nibiru is going to save you, right? But Nibiru's not going to help you get a fire monster on field, so you got to be very careful about even using your own Nibiru. We need Promethean and Grave, but we also need another fire on field. So the Garunix Eternity needs to be destroyed. It would then be able to reborn up to 2 monsters from the graveyard. That would be ideal, but emphasis on it has to be destroyed. How do we ensure it gets destroyed? We cannot. Zealantis is now going to be banishing the entire field, then come back, and then we're going to have to, before the battle phase, whip out that Nibiru, yes? Back on the field, I have no idea what's going to happen here. This is insanity. As we now make a Sunlight Wolf. Activate the Fire King Island. Fire King Island. That's right. We can't Nibiru. We are so screwed by this Promethean being on the field. Promethean can't activate if it's on the field to pop a monster. And Promethean has the additional effect of you cannot summon non-fire monsters, which Nibiru is a light. So we can't even Nibiru. Well, if we get rid of Promethean in the battle phase, then that's it. Nibiru can't be used. So we have full anti-Nibiru protection as we're going all in. Promethean, this is the craziest comeback victory I've seen in a long time. Absolute insanity. Where did this go wrong? The Ponix in the hand. Like, the Ponix in the hand. A random Ponix. And wasn't it public knowledge? Didn't we add the Ponix at the start of the turn? Bro, it was added in the standby phase, and then we lost to it. Wait, we didn't lose yet. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Fire King Island, pop the Ponix. Is the timer low for both players? We're going to be reborning the Garunix. Garunix pop from the deck of Kieran. Kieran triggered to reborn a monster from the hand or grave. Ponix also summoning. We're going to non-target, pop a card in the field. Let's get popping. Wiping out the Fire King Island, which will now wipe out all of our monsters. But first, we're going to summon a Promethean Princess, which, by the way, if it were to be summoned, would then very quickly get wiped out. We're going to Sky Burn, get poppin' the Fire King Sanctuary to no longer protect the Fire King Island. All right, negate. Pop the Ponix. No reborn. Wipe our field. Open field. All right, boss now wins it. Let's go. Wait. Flameburge is now triggering. It's not over. We're going to summon 1 fire, 2 fire. Oak will trigger, summoning a 3rd fire. We still have Kieran, which could pop a Kieran to then summon a body from the grave. We're now going to be using the effect of the Little Knight to chain banish. We're going to link Karibo, dodge it, so your monster now stays on the field. Come forth, link Karibo. This is insanity. This is absolutely absurd. Why can't we end the duel? We can't end the duel. The duel can't end. We're going to Kieran right here, right now. Summon itself onto the field. Let's pop Kieran to summon Kieran. Kieran now triggered to summon a Fire King to non-target, pop a card in the field. What are we even popping? Flame on! Fire King Garunix plus another Fire King Garunix, wiping out the field spell after taking out the Sanctuary Protection. Both Fire King Islands wiping out both fields. We're going to Nibiru on our own turn, our own main phase 1, tribute off the field. Come forth, Nibiru. How big is this token going to be? 3,800 defense, 9,000 attack. How do we out that token? Grab an original Sinful. I have a feeling that we are out of juice. Are we? We're summoning a Promethean Princess. Come forth. Is that our second copy of Promethean? We are now going to be equipping the Poplar with the Poplar, reborn the Garunix Exceeds, and then end our turn. We can't stop the 9,000 attack Nibiru token. Add back the Ponix Engraved to our hand as the original Sinful returns a card back in the deck, searching for our Snake Eye Ash. All right, Snake Eye Ash is now here on summon, gets Effect Veilered with a Link Karibo in Graveyard, right? To dodge it for our timer. What's the time? The time? Well, we wanted to keep it. We kept it because if the time is low, we had to think. We either dodge the negate or we keep it on the field and we use its negated effect just to get Flameburge in the grave. Holy moly. Flameburge trigger. Come forth, Ash is back, plus Poplar. Now we summon the Link Karibo and we turn it into a Dark. Dark will steal a Dark monster from the opponent's graveyard, taking your Masquerena. What are we turning this into? Into a Little Knight. Little Knight is here on summon, banish a card on the field, let's go, or in the grave, taking out the Sacred King Garunix from the duel, dealing 6,300 damage, triggering the Raging Phoenix to reborn from the grave, triggering the Ponix to summon itself onto the field, all within the end of the damage step. 19 cards left in the deck. Raging Phoenix at 5,500 attack, still not big enough to take out that 9,000 attack token that we gave them. That token is our creation for the opponent. As we now make a Hida. Hida could steal a fire monster from the graveyard, but we're not going to even bother. At 1,700 life, we cannot leave up that Hida. We're going to be triggering the effect of the Amble Whale after a Link 3 or lower has been destroyed to destroy a card in the field, taking out the Hida. With all Canix in attack position, what are you doing? Straight to battle. Lethal damage. 9,000 Nibiru token. No way to out it. Holy moly. Let's get to it. Game 2. We are now going second, of course, since we won game 1 somehow. I don't know how. And what I was talking about earlier is with the Gamma being limited to 1, people are dropping the full Gamma package, I believe, for more triple tactics talent. How do we break? Oh my gosh, late to the party, bro. What the heck are you doing? Your 6th card being a Max C, and we're starting off without a Sacred King Garunix? Well, we do have the ability for the Flamebirds to summon Volcanics in the back row, which could then set up the Sacred King Garunix play, which could pop a Kirin to then summon a body onto the field. But we already have that Sacred King Garunix anyway, so we could just search for another Kirin. So we have a pop through that. We have a pop through the Promethean Princess. We do have the ability with the Amble Whale to reborn the Masquerina to go into maybe an Apollo USA, which could be a 2 to 3 negate. We then have the Arvata, which could be another monster negate. We have the Little Knight, which could chain banish. And then we have Nibiru. We have about 8 disruptions here. Can we play through it thanks to the Triple Tactics talent? Let's see. Volcanics pop Ash, grab a Ponix. Ponix will trigger to summon itself onto the field here. Ponix will be activating to add. Little Knight will be chain banishing itself plus the Volcanics. That's one of the disruptions now gone. Sure. Skyburn. Okay. Triple Tactics talent. Now we're going to be reborning our Volcanics on the activation of the talent. We're going to take control of... The Arvata's now mine. You're now down to 6 disruption. We're going to pop the Amble Whale to grab a Kirin, trigger the Garunix and the Amble Whale to reborn the Masquerina. Everything we talked about here, and now we have Maxi. We also have Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave, finger the Amble Whale, turning off from 6 disruption. We're now down to 3. 1 finger wiped away 3 potential disruptions. That's a well-timed finger. Now with that 3 disruptions left, we're gonna summon the Garunix. We're not triggering the Garunix. We're gonna be linking this up into a Hida. Hida's gonna steal a fire monster from the opposing player's graveyard. Remember, that Nibiru is waiting. Steal the Promethean. Promethean reborn from our grave. Does this count as losing a Promethean? I'm sure it's gonna get back in the grave, right? If not, we just lost a Promethean Princess. We're now going to Poplar come forth and summon, grabbing the original Sinful. These fingers, this is a Kirin, a Nibiru, and actually I should say the Amble Whale. So it's actually a 3 disruption right now. What? This is the secret 4th disruption. It's an extra disruption. The Volcanics is actually a level 8. Mate, by being level 8, we are going to summon the Garunix Xyz, which on summon is going to activate to destroy all other monsters on the field. Wipe the field. Now with that field wiped, we have the Promethean Engrave, we have Nibiru, and we have the Amble Whale, which is activatable to destroy a card in the field, and we still have the Kirin, right? We didn't use the Kirin effect to pop a card. How do we have so much disruption still? This is insanity. Promethean, Kirin, Amble Whale, Promethean. We're at 3, right? Oak is going to be adding back or reborning. Let's see what we could do off of this. Amblo, Promethean, Kirin, and Nibiru. So we're at 4. We are at 4. I'm getting mixed up on all these disruptions now. We're going to be sending the Ponix, activating a Nibiru on our own main phase. How is Nibiru in our own main phase being used by both players? We're going to chain Kirin, popping the Garunix Eternity. Why did we do that? Well, it's very smart because the Garunix Eternity, instead of being tributed by the Nibiru, it was destroyed. If destroyed while material, it had 2 materials. It can now special summon 2 Fire Kings from the graveyard after the Nibiru tributes off the entire field. Tribute the field and then reborn 2 Fire Kings from the grave. Let's get to it. Let's do it. So one of the best things about the Nibiru here is you get rid of their fire monsters. No fire monsters turns off the Promethean, turns off the Amble Whale play, turns off the Garunix play, but because we well-timed that Kirin, oh shoot, we just got fingered. That's a problem. Ponix is stealing these games. What the heck? We thought we stopped the final fire monster from being summoned so that the Promethean would not be summonable, so the Garunix would not be triggerable, but now a random Ponix is on the field. And the problem is, how do we deal with that Ponix? It is a fire. We can't destroy it by battle. It will trigger too many effects. We have to deal with it without destroying it. The final fire monster, we have to very carefully get rid of it. But how? Flamebirds can push it back. That's a big one. We're gonna Skyburn. Oh, we're just gonna do it? We're just gonna do it. We're gonna pop the Ponix. We're gonna chain Nibiru to tribute off the entire field. Tribute. Okay. But the Ponix being destroyed, well, that's fine. I mean, we completely ended up their play. Are we going to again lose to a 7,600 attack Nibiru token? Surely we could deal with it. If we activate anything, the Little Knight could chain banish it. Let's see what's good. We're going to Wanted Seeker, chain Maxi to the Wanted Seeker. We are going to cross out Designate, negate the Wanted Seeker, a limited to 1 card in our deck, banish it to negate. No Diablo Star for you, mate. Now, we do have a secret effect of the Skyburn Engrave. Goodbye to the token. It was big enough to be destroyed by the Nibiru. Its defense was not too high. Ponix is triggering within the damage step, and so is the Volcanics to summon a Garunix from the deck. Come forth and summon. Y'all need to remember that there is no Sacred King Garunix in this game for Abood. How is Abood still playing? It's been gone since the very first turn. All right, let's keep on making plays. Main phase 2, Hida. All under Max C, by the way. We're going to Poplar, equip itself in the back row, steal the Flameburge. There's 14 cards left in the deck. There's no way we're trying to deck them out. We're going to push the Garunix into the back row. Let's go. All right, what plays can we make without a Sacred King Garunix? We're going to Fire King Sanctuary, set up the Fire King Island, pop the Kirin to search for a fire, trigger the Kirin to summon to then pop a card in the field. We're going to use Lil Knight right now to banish our Flameburge and the Ponix and reborn from our back row our Poplar. Come forth. Okay, Punish. And then we are going to be reborning the Volcanics, a non-target pop a card in the field, trigger the Promethean to pop the Volcanics, but it gets protected by the Skyburn. We're going to trigger the Garunix. Now, this duel's been going on for a while. I know it's only turn 4. Is there another Kirin in the deck? With this Garunix being summoned, we need another Kirin. So if we look in the graveyard, if there's 2 Kirin, then we don't have a good play. Kirin number 1. Kirin number 2. Both Kirins are gone. We don't even have a play to pop Kirins and then pop a card in the field. What the hell is going on? And it looks like we have the back-to-back triple tactics talent as we pop an Volcanics on the deck instead. So this wasn't even a form of disruption. We're now taking control back-to-back, take control. The fact that the Sacred King Garunix has been banished since the very first turn is absolutely insane. I think back-to-back triple tactics talent is helping us keep up in this duel without our Sacred King Garunix. As we make our Promethean Princess, as we go into the Raging Phoenix, as we set up for the lethal play, this is it. Zealantis Lethal. Will it go through? Banish everything, return everything. Now, one of the biggest things to fear is the Sacred King Garunix triggering from the graveyard, but it already triggered. We already used it. There is a Little Knight. Sure, the Little Knight, the Little Knight already activated, so it's not able to activate. Little Knight used up, Garunix used up, reborn our Promethean by popping their monster that we newly summoned back on the field, trigger the effect of the Arvata and the Raging Phoenix. We're about to have big damage on the field, and we could pop 2 cards in the field, non-targeting. Reborn, 12,000 damage, non-target pop, 2 cards in the field, take out the field spell, wipe out their entire field, 12,000 damage open, and just like that, lethal damage with the very first turn, our Sacred King Garunix getting banished from our graveyard. No way! Sacred King deleted from the grave. How did this happen? How did this happen? First turn, Little Knight banished Sacred King Garunix. Meta Weekly with the new ban list, tons of players in the event, and wow, Snake Eye Fire King shot up with Gamma being limited to 1, Pot of P being banned, Lightning Storm being semi-limited. What the heck is going on? Let's see the event deck list. MathMech TFG Math is looking like this. This is the main deck, and there is the extra. Nothing too crazy, but we'll keep our eyes peeled for any Gamma usage. Punk. This is Punk with Goblins. Goblin Punk. Very nice. Terror Top still semi-limited in OCG. Here is the extra deck of the Punk deck. I like it. I do want to try this out. Definitely. Thank you, L4N. And then Ritual Beast. I always have a soft spot for this deck. Very much enjoyed it within Duel Links and also loving it in Master Duel. And we're main decking Dimensional Fissure. So we're coping with our D-Shifter being limited to 1. So the second and third copy is Dimensional Fissure. There you go. Easy. Elwood. This could also immediately turn off something like a Veiler. So if they're holding Veilers in their hand, activate this, make your plays. No Veil. And there you go. Got the Link Spider for Nibiru. And then we have Supreme King Melodious. A flying dino, well done, good job. And then there is the extra deck, all right. Is this your second top of the deck? I think so, right? Wait, why did we label your deck differently on 2 different tournaments? I'll look into that, I'll change it back. So yeah, because it looks like you're playing the same deck. All right, what else we have? We have Triple D Jungle Man. There is the main deck, and then we have the extra deck. Looking good. And new Triple D support came out. I got to react to that. We got Salamangreat. Hi, what happened? You got top 8, my friend. There is the main deck, and then we got the extra. It was enjoyable to see. The Pyro Phoenix blowing up entire fields. And then we have Yubel. Yubel Scythe in the main deck. Of course, set it up with the Dagda, pop it with your Escape or with your Yama. That's going to be the main way to pop it. And then Melito, not playing Scythe in the main deck here. And then there is the extra deck. Labyrinth, Postrachin. It's full royal rarity. Main, 60 card royal. Crazy. Main deck, 1 shifter. We got the extra deck up in here. Triple Rex Term, double Kentragina. This is spicy. I like this a lot. So good job, Haas. And then we have Hibari in the top 16 with a more standard way to play Labyrinth only. No Dinomorphia. And then here is the extra deck. Tenpai Dragon, top 4. Anything crazy here? Oh no, we can only play 2 Lightning Storm. And we're not playing Gamma. No Gamma. Oh, Gamma's been taken out, sure. Here's the extra deck. What else we have here? The Pacifist Rats playing with Sky Striker. Sky Striker, no Gamma. There is the extra deck, sure. And then Yahya, 40 cards. Again, no Gamma. Even Tenpai is taking Gamma out of the main deck. That's insane. And then Snake Eye Fire King winning the whole event. Abo Abad. It got 43 cards, looking good like this. Anything too crazy? I don't see it. Triple Tactics Talent probably being played more because of the Gamma being removed from everyone's deck. There you go. And then we have Boss with more standard, looking standard. Yup. Okay. There is the extra deck. And then we have Mobile X. Mobile X, looking good. Very well done. There's the extra deck, looking standard. We got lots of Fuchos. Fucho to counter Tenpai. All of them Fucho'd it up. How did Snake Eye Fire King beat Tenpai? This is how. So if you're losing and you're not making Fucho or you're not understanding the use of Fucho, especially when you get max seed, you got to make this if you get max seed. And there you go. That is the event. We can see the tier list update here. Holy moly, Ritual Beast jumping up. This is with all community tournaments, completely automated. And just like that, let's go.